Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the XP podcast. My name is Rob, and I'm joined by my co-host. Let's start with Adam. Adam, how are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm pretty great. Long for the ride. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Good, good. And we're also joined by the good old Austin Murray. Austin, how are you doing, man?
Good old Austin Murray.
Good
I'm
old
good.
Murray.
I'm good. It's been a stressful week. The
Oh no,
okay, my cats are good. They're great, but
great.
one of them was at the ER quite a bit this past weekend. And it
What?
was
Quite a quite a
very
bit.
scary.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
like 2 nights.
Oh,
It was really
no.
it was rough. But he's
sorry to
better
hear that.
now. He'll probably interrupt the podcast as per usual. You might see a tail come across my face. So
Oh, that's
that
what the
means
people
he's
want.
good. It's a good sign. But
That's
yeah.
good. I saw
No,
over
it's
the
good,
weekend
man.
you were golfing. What was your score? I just want to know.
Oh man. No, I mean, I was like with my brother and dad while they were golfing, and
Oh,
I was
okay.
attempting to golf. Okay, here's the thing. Like, my swing is not bad, but like I may or may not hit the ball when I do swing. So, and if
Gotcha.
I do, I usually hit the top of the ball and it goes in the ground immediately. So, it's learning. I'm learning, but my brother and dad are just ridiculously good. I'm like, when did
Nice.
this happen? When did you guys get amazing at golf?
When you were
He's like,
busy
"Well,
getting good at games, son.
yeah, he's like, well, you were playing those video games. Your brother and I were golfing. No, no,
You were their
no,
personal
dude.
cart boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
get
Yeah, but it
to
was
get right
really fun
into
though.
to get right into the introduction, guys, it's kind of a interesting day today. What's funny is that yesterday, Austin and I found out that we have the same tickets to the same theater to watch the same movie at the same time. So we got
Right.
Shang-Chi right after this. So we're gonna get right through this. We're gonna be done on the spot
Shang-Chi.
because I'm not gonna miss this movie. So let's
Nah,
get right
man.
into the rigmarole. Guys, this is the XP Podcast, your bi-weekly casual podcast where we talk about all things video games. We bring topics to the table to discuss for your amusement. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or even topics to bring to us, you can bring them to us at Twitter at Ambitious Casual, or you can email us at the XP Podcast at ambitiouscasual.com. Utilize the timestamps to those who are listening on podcast services so that we can jump to the areas that you want to. Those who are watching the videos, make sure to press the like button, comment down below. Let's talk, let's conversate a little bit, and let's get straight into it. I have a quick bit, Adam. I just want like a quick 1 minute response for you so we can get right into the topics of the show. It was just announced today that PlayStation is going to have a showcase next week on Thursday at 1 p.m. PDT. Now, this is what PlayStation tweeted out. They said, get a sneak peek at the future of PS5 with updates from PlayStation Studios and industry-leading devs. Hope to see you there. Now, a couple things real quick, Anna, before I get your response. What do you think we're going to expect? They did not name this a PlayStation State of Play. This is called a PlayStation Showcase. And on top of that, lastly, Andy Robinson from Video Games Chronicle stated that he's been told there are super announcements in this. So Andy Robinson, by following him for a while, he's not the kind of guy that overhypes things. He's very cordial. He kind of
Yeah.
keeps everything so close to the chest. And so for him to say this, I'm kind of wondering what could we see? So what do you think?
Well, I have a feeling. So it's a showcase, so it's most likely going to be first party or exclusives for the most part, or non first party exclusives
Yeah.
too, I guess. So like the first things I think about would be probably not. I mean, there could be Horizon, but we've seen a good chunk of that already. If they have something to show for God of War, they could show it. If they have factions, multiplayer for The Last of Us, they could show
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If they are working on a Metal Gear Solid remake, they could show that.
Let's
There's
go.
there's lots of
Let's go.
stuff that they could show. I've probably over the past year, especially, have gotten much better about reining my expectations in for any showcase. So I'm excited there
Yeah.
is a showcase, but I'm not going to be like too invested in like I hope they show this. The only exception to that in general is just like getting an update on Card Shark, which is a game I'm very much looking forward to, and I don't think I've seen anything about
Yeah.
it since last year. So I'm just still waiting for something on that game. But those are like the few things rattling at the top of my brain for this.
Yeah. I have to agree with a lot of what you said. I think One, I want to temper my expectations, but at the same time, PlayStation just has been silent, and I think that's been a great thing for them. We've been seeing Xbox talk a lot, which they need to. They need to be talking a lot, but we have been seeing a lot of people within the industry that's kind of like, why are we just seeing the same things over and over again? You don't really have much to show. Blah 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 blah. So I'm really excited to see what is it that PlayStation can bring. We might see another trailer for Horizon because it got pushed to next year. We might see, and I actually hope we see a sneak peek to God of War Ragnarok, and I really hope that we see at least a sneak peek and maybe a quarter window for Last of Us Factions. Are we going to see anything in regards to Metal Gear or Silent Hill or anything like that? I would like to see so. I think more than that, I want to see what Blue Point is working on next, and maybe we'll get a little hint at that. But I think, lastly, my thoughts is I think we might get, and I mean like I was saying like a 30-second video. I think we're gonna get a quick look at the new PlayStation VR headset that they have set to come out
Sure.
next year. They've already showed off the controllers at the beginning of this year, and they've been talking about a lot about the future of it, and the specs for it are out of this world. It looks really promising. So I get a feeling that
Hmm.
if we don't see anything at the Game Awards, and this is PlayStation's one only moment to talk for the rest of the entire year, I say we see the PlayStation VR 2 be announced, and then a couple other big games. I will
Yeah.
say there's going to be a surprise. I think if they haven't spoken this much, this long, there's gonna be one surprise. And that surprise could be factions, that surprise can be God of War, but there's gonna be a surprise. I don't think we're gonna go in and see everything and be like, oh, we have already known all of this. There's gonna be some surprises, I'm sure.
Yeah. When you
Uh
say VR, sorry to one last thing, but
go for it, go for
when
it.
you say VR, I definitely think of like Team Asobi. Like maybe they have an
Yes.
Astrobot game that they're ready to talk about. That's I would like to see it be like VR optional, but still
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
primarily meant for VR.
Yeah, I agree. Austin, I know you don't really do much in regards to the PlayStation space. Do you have anything that you want to add to the conversation, or are you good?
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation, but I'm so happy for you PlayStation players. Huzzah!
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Huzzah!
sir.
And there was much
Huzzah.
rejoicing.
Going into the first topic of the show, guys, I'm going to start with my topic. We're going to jump right in. And the title for my topic is Twitch Falling Apart? When I kind of was going
Mm.
over the list and kind of thinking, what should we talk about? I thought of Twitch, and then I was like, man, that's gonna be some work and some digging I'm gonna have to do. And I was like, you know what? I think it's worth it. Let's talk about it. There's a couple things I want to dig into. Um, I was Twitch streaming at the beginning of this year. Austin is also Twitch streaming a bit as well. Adam, you have not dipped into that yet. But do you watch Twitch streams or live streams?
Very little. I'll
Okay,
like watch some of your streams. I've watched maybe a
nice.
couple of Austin streams, and I've watched like some of Janet Garcia, and
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if anyone else. There might be someone else. Wolfden, maybe.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
about it.
I like Wolfden.
Okay. Okay. So I kind of wanted to start off, and there's been a lot going on with Twitch, and some big news has broken out within this week alone.
Hmm.
And I kind of started the entire thing with the hashtag a day off Twitch. Now, kind
Mm.
of setting the thing up, I have like three key points here. I'll start off after each point. We could kind of discuss them a bit. Starting off with the day off Twitch. On Wednesday, September 1st, and this comes from The Verge. This is where I grabbed this article from. On Wednesday, September 1st, a number of channels on Twitch will go dark as streamers. And by the time you guys watch this, this is already over. They will go dark as streamers participate in hashtag a day off Twitch, a walkout designed to bring attention to the ongoing hate and harassment that's plagued the platform for the last several weeks. If some of y'all do not know, this has been happening to a lot of people, whether you are like a streamer who's a woman, if you're a person of color, and even just anybody in particular, especially those who are not big streamers. It is usually those who are much, much smaller. They've been getting bombarded with these raids that tech whizzes out there, dude. I don't understand how they even do this kind of stuff, but
I
it
don't
is just
either.
being bombarded with just a bunch of hate speech, a lot of racist slurs, just a lot of hateful
Yeah.
things. And on top of that, they also did it when a lot of these streamers were offline. And what would happen is when there's a lot of these hate comments being said in a comment section, well, then that channel will be flagged. And then now the streamer who wasn't even streaming that day has to go and try to figure out how do they get their their account unbanned or unflagged or
Mm.
anything like that. So it's been
Ugh.
crazy, hurting their statistics, hurting their money, hurting the profits of sponsors. It's been hurting a lot of aspects of it. And it's interesting that Twitch, the biggest live stream platform, this has been a thing that's been happening for a while now. I've been seeing people talk about this for literally the past couple weeks already, and nothing's been done yet. So I want to start off with Austin. Austin, what do you think in regards to a day off Twitch? I saw some people left, not a lot of people left. I can understand in particular maybe some small people that kept going that maybe need the money to continue, but I did see a
Mhm.
lot of the big
Mhm.
streamers, of big people leave leave Twitch for that day.
Yeah.
What's your idea on everything that's been going on with a day off Twitch?
Yeah, I'm fully behind it. I fully support it. It really sucks to see a great platform, a great fun time just to be ruined by just a
Yeah,
community of hackers and haters.
yeah,
Um I it yeah, it sucks to see, especially with the smaller influencers. It's already so difficult to make it on Twitch.
oh yeah,
It is already so hard, and just to see the this does not help, especially the smaller streamers. It sucks, and I really wish we could see more and hear more from Twitch on this topic. Feel like we just haven't really heard anything from them about like hate, all the hate and slander that arrives in the chat room. It gets out of hand, and
oh
I
yeah,
wish that like larger Twitch streamers, like, I don't think, I could be wrong, but like I haven't seen anything from like Ninja or any big streamers talk about this, and I think it's
yeah.
something that really needs to be brought up and dealt with. Here's my cat.
Doing
So
good.
yeah, he's chilling. So I didn't go on Twitch on September the 1st, so I actually don't know firsthand. I didn't notice or see anything.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hold on. I don't know if something's messing up. My cat is on my computer keyboard.
you sound good. You're fine.
He's
Hello.
warm. That's where he got his IV.
Oh no!
I
Oh,
know.
little cat.
Anyways, yeah. I don't know if I have much of a strong opinion, but I do know that I'm always behind the community, taking part and making change. I think that this needs to be addressed by Twitch. I think it should be addressed. And we just hate to see it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna maybe go off the rails a little bit and say that the video game community can be very toxic. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just, it has such a history of racism and transphobia, all of just terrible things. You hop into a Modern Warfare 2 lobby, and I mean, everyone, that's like kind of
Hello.
like the joke, and
Yeah.
it's so bad. So I'd like to see something happen about it. I don't know what could happen. I don't know what to do, because it seems like no matter what you create or what you, what you put into place, someone figures out a way to spew hate everywhere in
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
form or fashion. So it's tough. I hate it. I'm all about hashtags like this. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it. But I didn't witness anything firsthand. I didn't even go on Twitch on
Yeah.
yesterday. So
Adam, do you have
Yeah.
anything you want to contribute in regards to that, or?
It's demoralizing for the creators, especially. I know I haven't been super in the weeds on Twitter with this, or on obviously I hardly get on Twitch, so I only knew a little bit of
Yeah.
what was going on because I got on Twitter and saw like Blessing out of Yo Jr., Janet, like
Mhm.
Zach Bryan,
Mhm.
a few others like talking about it. And then,
Yeah.
but like, it's true. Like our community has a ton of this in it, like the video game community. Like even back when
Yeah.
like Zombie guested on, I think
Oh, yeah.
Beyond with IGN, just the comment section on IGN on
Yeah.
YouTube is like awful. Like it's just terrible stuff. And
Yeah.
I keep bringing up Janet, but like I've followed her for quite a while through like NVC, IG, or Kind of Funny, all the other stuff, and it's like, and she always gets a ton of flack too, just for being a woman, for being
Yeah.
a woman of color, and it's just, it sucks.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is the fact that Twitch is it's a lot of software. I just don't quite. Again, I'm not an engineer. I don't work in this business, so I I can't even tell you how to code. But I can. there has to be something that someone can whip up. You can make something. I don't know if it takes 3 weeks to, like, the
Yeah.
moment like a computer can read whenever a spam is starting to come in at a quick amount of time to kind of block it or whatever. Like, I don't know. Again, I
Yeah.
don't know all that kind of stuff, but this is one thing that was coming to Twitch. It was getting a lot of flack. You've been seeing a lot of people being very outspoken and being upfront about it. Hence, hashtag a day off Twitch happening and people actually taking some sort of action to kind of make some sort of notice to Twitch. How do you get to a company? By you attack it by money. And so if they're not going to make a lot of money in one day, well, then they're going to notice it and maybe they'll do something. And you're hoping that the people who are already working for Twitch already have these great intentions and already have great morals and they're willing to already want to fix this. But it is one thing to see a whole group of people wanting to back down and want to see, them actually take some action. And so I kind of
Yeah.
want to go on to the next point, and this was I had one, but I'm actually gonna skip to the last one because the second one is the big one.
Yeah.
We saw, I think it was last week, Dr. Disrespect came out. It was on one of his live streams. I saw the video afterwards. He mentioned that he is suing Twitch after finding out the reasoning of banning them off Twitch. Now, a couple
Yes.
things. I want to make it a point. I want to make it a point right off the bat. I'm a fan of Dr. Disrespect. I actually am literally wearing his merch shorts right now. But I do understand.
Shorts.
Yeah, I have the shorts and I have 2 t-shirts. But
Oh,
I do
nice.
understand some of the controversies in regards that surround him a bit. There was obviously the thing that happened between him cheating on his wife, and he got
Yeah.
banned for streaming in a public bathroom, which I'm not gonna lie, that was a little funny, and the memes that came out of it were funny, but hence still wrong nonetheless. And so he's been very forward, and he's very outspoken, and it's hard sometimes to tell who is Guy Beam and who is Dr. Disrespect. Like,
Mm.
it's hard
Yeah.
sometimes who is the character and who is the real guy. And you
Mm.
can say at times he can hide behind the character. But again,
True.
nonetheless, without me knowing anything, I'm not going to assume. I don't like assuming. I want to know once I get the facts, then I judge by the facts. And so, Dr. Disrespect, Guy Beam himself, one of the top streamers in the world, uh, makes tons and tons of money. He has a TV show that's in the work right now. He has so many sponsorships with so many different brands to the top of the roof. And for
Mhm.
him to actually say, and this is the quote that he said, I can't talk about it, but a lot of people ask me, do you know the reason? Yeah, I do know the reason why now. I've known for months now the reason why. And I'll just say this right now, champs. There's a reason why we're suing the F out of them. Dr. Disrespect said with a laugh, I don't know how else to put it. The amount of damages, and you just don't know. No. And then that was on one of his streams. Now, I do want to say real quick, for someone like Dr. Disrespect, and I could be wrong, and I'm willing for people to comment in the comment section and disagree, because I want to have this conversation. And you guys, obviously, I want to know if you guys disagree or not. I feel like for someone like him, it's about money. Like, and not all
Mm.
the time. I know he enjoys what he does. I'm not saying it's always about money, but what I
Yeah.
mean by saying you're gonna sue somebody, you probably have a good reason to understand why you're doing that, because you're putting to risk all the assets, all the sponsorships, all the goodwill, all the fans, and everything that you have on the line. That once it actually comes out why they banned him off Twitch, if it's not a good reason, well, then that's in the favor of Dr. Disrespect. But if it's a good reason, a really reasonable reason why they banned Dr. Disrespect off of Twitch, then that looks bad on him. So for him to say that he knows, I have a feeling he has an understanding that what the reason why they banned me was obviously not right. And so I'm going to take the actions because I know this is not going to hurt me in the end. Does that make sense? So
Mm.
I get a feeling. So this happened last week, and a lot of news sources were picking it up, and this was like kind of like another hit on Twitch. Okay, Twitch, day off Twitch, harassment, all that kind of stuff. Second, Dr. Disrespect is suing Twitch because they broke his contract, because he literally just started a contract with them last year, had a humongous campaign of ads promoting the fact that he was on Twitch, and I think it was a month or two later was when they just dropped him, banned him, didn't even give a reason why. So
Mm.
That's something that came out. Uh, Austin, if you have anything, do you want to add to that? You don't have to.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I would really like to know the reason. I think we all want to know the reason. We all want to know what happened. If it's a matter of fine print and he broke those rules, then there's no question about it. But I am sure it's a lot more complex than that, or else he wouldn't be suing Twitch.
Exactly.
So
Or saying it out in public.
Right, announcing it willy nilly on a stream. I don't know. It's hard for me to really form an opinion on it. Doctor Disrespect he is definitely a character, for
Yes.
sure, and I can see there is a sort of, it's hard to separate him from the character, but I don't know. I really, we'll see what happens. We'd all love to know the reason. We'd all love to know what happens. There is a part of me that's just like not a fan of Twitch right now, so I'm just like, yeah, sue him, destroy him. But
Yeah.
that's just me wanting to stick it to the man. So
Yeah.
really interested to see what happens, but I don't really have much of a formal
Cool.
opinion on it just yet.
Cool. And Adam, do you have anything you wanna add or?
I have no idea who this guy is or what his like content is like, but I will
Sweet.
say he could just be an opportunistic liar or a pathological
Could be.
liar.
Could be.
He doesn't, like, he could be saying it just because like he knows that his followers are going to take what he says over what anyone else says,
Very
even
true.
if there's like
They're gonna
proof,
rally. They're gonna
right?
rally. Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Because we've definitely seen that quite a bit
Oh, yeah.
over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then, I mean, and it could just be like, he's like, look, they're already getting flack for this, other stuff. I'm just going to pile on because it's going to be my way
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Like maybe they're going to settle
yeah.
because they don't want to drag this through in court,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
so many mind games. He could be an idiot. He could just be honest. He could be, like I said, opportunistic liar. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the thing
I agree.
with a
I
lot of
agree.
content creators. I'm not saying you can't trust any, right? There are plenty of people out there who are being genuine, but there's a lot of times where there are people that seem genuine but aren't.
Yeah.
And
And
Yeah.
you just
hard to
don't
tell.
know. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Through a live stream, you feel like you know somebody, but you don't know them.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Especially Dr. Disrespect, who's
Yes.
playing a character.
Exactly.
Yes.
His
He-
little
he-
character on the stream.
Yes.
He is a wrestler
Mm-hmm.
streaming video games. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not,
Yeah.
but like what I mean, like he's playing that persona. He plays it up. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, he
and
does.
I've heard other people talk about Guy himself. TimTheTatman has talked about him. I've heard I've seen him on a stream with H3H3, and they forgot to cut the camera, and he took off the wig and the mask, and he just started acting like a really different guy because he's
Yeah.
acting it up for the cameras, and a
Yeah,
lot of them say
right,
that he's a
right.
really good guy. He's a good friend, or blah 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 blah. But again, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know him, so we
Yeah.
have to wait and see. And so going into the last point in regards to all this, and I think this is kind of the biggest one to all of this. It was announced this week that Dr. Lupo and TimTheTatman left Twitch for YouTube gaming. Now,
Hmm.
starting off with TimTheTatman, this is what he stated, and this was from Business Insider. He stated, "When I started, I had no family obligations and I could stream a lot of hours. The reality is, now that I've got my wife and my son, it's hard for me to stream as much as I did beforehand." And then we got to see from Dr. Lupo speaking to the Hollywood Reporter. He hinted that the requirements and contractual obligations with Twitch had come to not align with his life and shifting values as a new father. He quote stated, "The amount of time that it takes to dedicate to grow a channel in a way that it takes to dedicate." No, wait, said that 2 times. Let me restart. He quote said, "The amount of time it the amount of time that it takes to dedicate to grow a channel in a way that you be competitive and stay up with the top dogs, it can be tough," he says. "It's a lot of time. At a certain point, you have to weigh what's important." And that was to the Hollywood Reporter. And I want to end this whole bit off, and then we can discuss it right here. Right before we started and we got on to record, I was watching a video by Devin Nash. Thank you, YouTube, for recommending this. I don't even know how I saw it, but it was the future of live streaming. And guys, I'll have the link to the video in the show notes. But Devin Nash was going over the statistics of Twitch and YouTube and showing how Twitch has been kind of going up and YouTube has been going down a bit in regards to viewership. But he said that that's not a bad thing. And I don't want to go into a lot of it But if you do have the time, go watch it. It is a really, really good watch. But I pulled one quote, and this quote comes from Valkyrae, and this is where he got this quote, and he stated that she said, "I signed a contract with YouTube a year ago, and as some of you didn't know, and some of you did learn later, I have streaming hours to fulfill, and I owe 100 hours a month. But I went a little crazy and streamed too much last year, which is very bad for my health." Nash states in the video that usually Twitch contracts are double that. So if you were obligated 100 hours a month, let's say you break that down per week, that's 25 hours a week that you have to stream contractually being a YouTube live stream gamer. This is Valkyrae's. I'm not saying this is what everyone else's is, but when you look at that, and it's probably doubled for Twitch, meaning it's probably 40 to 50 hours a week, 200 hours a month. It makes so much more sense for two guys who are fathers with kids and a wife to be like 25 hours a week at least. Now that's you can do 2 10-hour streams and then a 5-hour stream if you want to. You're done for the rest of the week. You got your money. You're good to go. You're done. And I think what's even on more than all of that, and this is kind of where it's going into, is YouTube live streaming better than Twitch? Is it going to get to that point? It kind of makes sense because, look, if you're not streaming, you're not making money. That's just how it goes. That's how it is on Twitch. But the difference is this. If you're live streaming on YouTube, that person, that moment you end your stream, what do they need to do? Just click your channel icon. Boom. You have a list of a bunch of videos that you can go watch right there. Not like Twitch, where you're done streaming. Okay, where do I go? I have to close this app, open up another app, search up this person, then get to their channel. The way that people work, unfortunately, a lot of people do not want to leave an app to go to another app. That's just how it works. That's how you've always heard. That's how it's said. And so it seems like YouTube is taking some very, very smart moves right now by grabbing some big, big guys. TimTheTatman was on Twitch for a very long time, came over to YouTube Gaming. Dr. Lupo is practically like the figure of a great streamer for your platform. He always was banding together with St. Jude's, did so many live streams that were for nonprofits and for charities and that kind of stuff. Like, he was your golden guy, you know? And to get him to YouTube, that's a huge deal. That's a big, big deal. And on top of that, your contract seems so much more fitting and so much more better than what you're getting from the other guys. So I'm going to start off with Austin again. After going after all these things, the day off Twitch, Dr. Disrespect suing Twitch, and then YouTube getting two top dogs, Dr. Lupo and TimTheTatman. And then one more thing that I do want to hint at is that I know Summit 1G's contract, which was a 2-year contract, ends this week. And so now people are like, all right, now we'll see what's going to happen to Summit 1G and all these other bigger streamers that their contracts are starting to end. So Austin, overall, what are your thoughts on YouTube live streaming compared to Twitch streaming and the move of Dr. Lupo and TimTheTatman?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot there. Having a very small amount of experience in streaming and trying to grow a brand in that way. You learn that it's not just in the streaming; it's in the content that comes after the stream that lures people back to your stream. Oh yeah. So not only are you dedicating a full-time schedule to streaming, but you're also having especially when you're a smaller streamer, you're having to create videos, clips, TikToks, everything, reels, you name it. So it is much more on top of that 40-hour a week plus, stream time. So I think, it's Google. I mean, Google has money and they want to get the big names on their platform to grow their streaming platform. And you know what? If they're gonna offer these people, less hours and better pay, then do it. Go for it. Streaming is a very time consuming. It's a very time consuming thing, and especially if you want to grow. This is kind of an old timey phrase, but a lot of people said this about being an artist. It's a single man's game. Oh yeah. It's meaning that it's hard to maintain any other life outside of of being an artist, or trying to create some sort of income doing that. So I can totally understand as to why they would take this deal. And
Mm-hmm.
given the state of Twitch and everything that's been going on with them, they're probably like, we should, there's got to be a point where they need to really retain their brand and their name. And if they're going to be affiliated with Twitch, that'll allow all this crazy stuff going on, that won't look good on their part. So yeah, I think it's a good move. It's interesting to see how, where does YouTube sit in the streaming world? Obviously it's not as popular for watching streams. My gut reaction to watch a stream is to hop on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Not to hop on YouTube. And I haven't really explored YouTube streaming, but it seems like discoverability is a little bit weirder on YouTube. So there's a part of me that still feels like if you're a small streamer and you're wanting to grow, it seems that Twitch, it might be a little bit easier to be discovered on Twitch than it is on YouTube. To me, it almost seems like Twitch is sort of becoming this wild west of all the hungry sharks and of people trying to get on top and grow and grow and grow, whereas YouTube is sort of the large corporate chain of streaming. People are getting these big deals with Google, with YouTube, and all these big names are eventually graduating over to YouTube, and they're going to be all over the front page of YouTube and all of that. So yeah, it seems like with all the platforms, Twitch is still going to be very prominent, still going to be a lot of people on there, because I think the discoverability is better. It's still way more saturated. There's way more people streaming on Twitch than YouTube. But and this is just sort of a gut feeling. This isn't really backed by anything. It just seems like growing on Twitch might be easier than growing on YouTube. So yeah, I digress. But I'm all about it. Good for them. Family comes first. All about it.
Yeah. I will before I throw it to Adam. I do want to add one thing. I would have to disagree a bit on the discoverability on Twitch. I think one of the biggest things that we do see a lot from a lot of streamers is that Twitch does not promote anybody. I think it's just the way the platform works. When I open up my phone and I go to YouTube, and the first thing that I open up and see is just the recommended. What is the algorithm recommending me? When I open up Twitch, the first thing that I see are just only the people that I follow. And so to actually be found, there's not an algorithm on Twitch. There is an algorithm on YouTube. And I think what's interesting, and again, I'm going to say this again, anyone who's watching or listening, check out Devin Ash's video, because he actually goes into how some of the people are like, YouTube, why don't you not have a dashboard? So that way people can just look at all this kind of stuff. And I think actually one of the guys who's actually working on it has said that, by everything that we've been seeing, and again, I'm really, I'm what's the word I'm trying to look for? I'm speaking out. I'm just grabbing what he said. Go watch it, because he actually says it a lot better. But it's practically like the guy who runs it has said that we noticed that so far the algorithm is what works so much better at this moment. Now, Google, they can whip up a dashboard in a day or two. They can do that because it's Google. But I think they've seen different success in different ways there through recommendations. I do want to see how people do think about it in regards to, do they feel Twitch is much easier to be found? Do people see that YouTube is easier to be found? I will say to actually start making money on YouTube is harder. It is a lot harder because it has to deal with your viewership, and not only viewership in regards to your streams, but also just viewership in regards to your channel as a whole. So if you are putting out videos that are getting views, well, then you can actually get, paid via YouTube live streaming as well. But I don't know. Again, we'll wait and see. I personally, if I ever do get back into live streaming, which I want to because I loved it, I'm not going to do Twitch anymore. I'm going to actually go to YouTube because I feel like there's a future there in that respect. So, Austin, do you have something to say real quick?
I was say, yeah, that's a good idea. I just wanted to touch on one more thing you said. I just wanted to agree with you on the seamlessness.
Go for it.
Being able to, be on a live stream and then the channel being all connected in one platform. I really think, that's the best way to do it. If you can make it, I think that's better. So anyways,
Adam, do you have anything you want to add to the conversation, my dear sir?
Yeah. In regards to no algorithm, it's kind of a wait and see approach for me almost. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's that. It's lots of skepticism. What is the algorithm actually designed to do? What is the
Mm,
goal
Yeah.
that the algorithm is trying to, achieve? Is it just trying to get you to watch as much content as possible?
right.
Because that's bad.
Yeah.
I don't want
The
that.
algorithm isn't always right.
Or it's right in what it's trying to do, but what it's trying to do is not what I want. So
Thank
Yeah.
you.
you see what I'm
You
saying?
said it perfectly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said it perfectly.
So like that's a lot of problems I have with obviously Facebook. That's actually a lot of problems I have with YouTube already. I watch a good chunk, but I only ever go to my subscribe tab and I look at what's new
Mm,
from people I'm subscribed to. And
mm.
I
Interesting.
hardly ever go to the homepage.
Hmm.
And I avoid it quite a bit. So yeah,
What a G.
yeah. I mean, Instagram
Boss.
too. Instagram really gets me, and then I'm mad at myself every time for letting it get me. I'll get past like the
Oh.
posts, and it's like you pass the button that says view older posts, and then you're just in a bunch of recommended and suggested stuff, and then it's like all
Yeah.
just prequel memes, and I'm like, wait, I've been looking at prequel memes for 5 minutes, and then I'm like, I'm getting off right now.
Yeah.
So I'm skeptical, but I would like to think that maybe they'll have good algorithms with good intent, but it's Google. I don't necessarily trust them on it.
Yeah, I think the only platform right now that's actually doing discoverability the absolute best is TikTok. And I think everyone right now is chasing and running around in circles trying to figure out how do we do this.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that it works so great.
I'm
I
just
discover brand new people every single day. Adam, do not get in. Do not.
Yeah.
Once you get in, you're lost to
well,
life.
and the reason I don't
No,
want to
tell
get
me,
in is
Adam.
not even the time sink. It's like the other part of it, but that's fine.
Yeah, I understand.